Welcome to the Mind Body Abundance Show. The Mind Body Abundance community is more than just a gathering. It's a shared journey towards wellness and success. Together we form a collective consciousness that blossoms from within, nurturing growth and support for all. In today's society, the default often leans towards quick fixes like pills or shots for any discomfort. Yet there exists a plethora of alternative solutions. The challenge lies in the disconnect between those offering these remedies and those in need. Our purpose is to bridge this gap, to break down the walls of misunderstanding and bring these alternative solutions to the forefront. We aim to facilitate understanding, showcasing how these methods can effectively address various issues faced by the public. Our vision and motivation revolve around waking up each morning with a mission to demystify the journey of personal change and transformation. We're here to make this process accessible and understandable for everyone. Your presence and participation are deeply valued. We invite you to become an integral part of our collective consciousness, embracing a mindful, healthy, and abundant life. Your contribution matters as we continue on this journey together. We eagerly anticipate your involvement. Our first guest is Tara Nolan. She is a transformation business and life coach, guiding entrepreneurs and purpose-driven professionals to reach higher levels of fulfillment, create success on their own terms, and build businesses that empower life's greatest dreams. Welcome to the show, Tara.
Hi, Kim. Thank you for having me.
So happy to have you today. So you help people find their dream life. How do you do this? Tell us a little bit about what you do to help people find their dreams and create fulfillment.
First, Kim, I want to give you an experience,
Okay.
like right away. So if you could actually, and anyone that gets to view this as well, if you could uncross your legs, sit up nice and tall, and just close your eyes. Drop your shoulders down from your ears. Take a big breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Slowly and mindfully breathe. And imagine life as it is right now. Looking at what's working and what's not working in your current situation. Whether it is your relationships, your business, your finances, your physical environment, your health, your overall fulfillment in life. Just taking a moment to be honest with yourself, maybe more honest than you ever are, about where life is really at. And then stay in this moment, keep your eyes closed, just take a big breath in for cleansing. Exhale, let that out. And let's do some time travel. Let's go straight to the end of next year. So now here it is, early in the year, and you've created the most magnificent, amazing life that you could have ever imagined. As you get to the end of that year, maybe it's the end of 2024. What does that look like? And just let your imagination run wild, not in alignment with your current plan, but if anything were possible, where would you be living? Who would you be spending your time with? Would you have a business? What would that look like? How active would you be in that business? What kind of revenue would the business be producing? Where would it be at? What kind of income would you be taking home? Who would you work with? Would you have a team? Who's on your team? What kind of environment do you live in? Where do you travel to? Who do you spend your time with? If you have children, imagine where they are a year from today, your health, your body, your fitness levels, and even the peace within your heart, the joy that fulfills you. As if you're in this future place, looking back over the year, what is it that has brought you the greatest fulfillment? What is it that has brought the most significance and meaning to your life that you can now be grateful for? And then just with those clear visual images in your mind, take another big breath in. Let it go with ease. And let's step back into this moment today and open your eyes. So this is an experience of what I do. It is the first step, which is gaining clarity to where you want to go and getting honest with ourselves in where life is at now, because the only way we can create change, also known as transformation, which is what I do for people, the only way to create transformation is to really look at life right now and business and finances and love and all of it and see what has to shift, what's working, what's not working. So that is an example of where to start to create change in your life and how I guide people to create these changes and, step into higher levels of success and fulfillment.
I love that. So, how did you get started? Because I know a little bit about your background, and you were a corporate professional in sales, and now you're helping people with transformation. How did you get started in this entirely different journey?
Action.
Right. I was in corporate for over 15 years, and I was really at the top of my game professionally in sales. And I loved sales. I actually still use sales in what I do today in coaching people, because I help people build businesses with sales, infrastructure, strategy to, get them to their next level. But what happened in my life was a catastrophic loss of a dear friend who suddenly passed away in a motorcycle accident. And I remember the moment in my corporate apartment in Chicago. Well, I had my home here in Milwaukee. I was down there for business, and I got the call that he had been driving on a county road in central Wisconsin after leaving Milwaukee to head to northern Wisconsin, and was just doing nothing wrong, wearing full leathers, full helmet, and was hit, by an SUV in a crossroads. The SUV ran a stop sign, and in that moment, I just not only was in this complete shock that I would never see my friend again, but also I recognized, like, that could be it for any of us. That could be it for me, for you, tomorrow. Like, we all have an end coming, and we don't know when that is. So I recognized mortality as something more real than I ever had. And it really made me take stock of my life immediately and say, okay, here I am. I was making in the upper 2% of income in the United States, looking really successful on the outside, number one in sales in North America in my company, and, looking like I'm doing so well and so successful, but I was really suffering on the inside, and really life just felt like a struggle.
Not fulfilling your purpose, not fulfilling your own dream.
I was like, what is it all about? Like, why are we even doing what we're doing every day if we could just die tomorrow? It better matter. So I wanted to really make my life matter in a new way, but I didn't know that at the time. I just knew that I wanted to change and I wanted something different. So, like many people, I had gone to college and got the job and worked my way up the corporate ladder and was kind of just checking the boxes, bought the house. I was doing the right thing. But then when this happened, I did something really different. I left everything. I left my home. I left my country. I left a struggling relationship, and I left a career not knowing where or how I would ever replace that income. And I started out in South America, and I spent a month in each of 9 countries, and I just studied like different cultural ways of living to increase my own cultural awareness of happiness and success on one's own terms. It's not success how we define it in today's society of just like, I think in America, it's so much about like making money equals success. But how is it successful if you're not feeling happy and fulfilled on the inside? How is it successful if so many different areas of your life are suffering? Like, I was having health issues in my low 30s in corporate America, which is ridiculous. There was just no reason for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
People may feel completely successful and fulfilled in other countries, which is something you're just not seeing in the United States. So how did that transform into what you're doing today?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that all countries have it right either.
Right.
But it was like cultural awareness, and then I ended up in a yoga teacher training in Bali for a month. It was listed like yoga boot camp, and in that experience, I had to question everything in my life, like my upbringing in a Catholic religion and my just ways of thinking from family expectations, from societal norms, and I really opened my mind and my heart up to a new way of spirituality. And it was just mind blowing, and it completely changed my life. And I grew and evolved and on a soul level, I believe. So now I really combine that corporate experience of modern business structure, strategy, and sales with a holistic approach to success, being the spiritual principles and ancient yoga sutras, as they're called, to look at how do you find significance with your success? How do you incorporate what's called your dharma, which is your purpose, and really let go of what everyone else thinks you should do, so you can really create happiness and success on your terms?
I think that's super interesting because you have a very successful business background. You take and got a great amount of experience with spiritual. And I don't know that it's really common to be able to offer both of those things. So you've taken those things. I have only really recently met you. I want to say it was maybe September or October. You had a great event in Milwaukee, which is where I'm from. And you came to one of my networking meetings. You're like, hey, I have this event coming. I think it would be great for you. And I just, in 2 days, completely changed my life. Do you have other success stories? Because we've been working together since then, but I think that there's people you've been working with for years or months, or maybe you just changed your life in a day. Do you have any examples success stories that you can give others?
Absolutely. So, yes, I do these live events in Milwaukee and other places of the country and the world, and you can have absolutely transformative experiences. But like anything, as you stay in the work, as I call it, long term, you're going to have a higher level of spiritual and personal growth. So what I've seen in working with people, years at a time even, is they definitely go from that cocoon to butterfly, because that's what transformation is. And it
Absolutely.
is finding new levels of confidence within yourself. Like I've seen, I've had women come to me that are just, they have it all on the outside, but they're really stressed out and unhappy, and they feel like their marriage or relationship is hanging by a thread. And I'm not a relationship coach at all, but everything changes when you step into your purpose and you start formulating new boundaries and allowing healing from doing inner child work. So like one of my clients, Trisha, she had a husband with a successful business. She's a successful financial planner. She was very interested in yoga and the different spiritual principles, but not really sure how to create this change in her life. So she came to one of our events, the Art of Transformation Coaching. It blew her away, and as in her words, which I'm grateful and humbled by, but she said, I don't know what it is. I just feel I am called to do something. So I'm going to step forward. So she joined our Magical Manifestation Mastermind program for the year. And she absolutely transformed every area of her life and started also making more money in her business. So it is about creating success and making more money. I'm all about wealth strategies. However, doing it in a way that aligns with what's important to you. So Trisha had to really work on clearer communication with those in her office and on her team, creating boundaries with her children. She loved, as many women, she loved doing things for her family and being there for everyone else. But part of her was suffering, and she wasn't taking care of herself. And then she didn't have as much love and goodness to offer, right? And then if I could share, I also work with yoga teachers and spiritual entrepreneurs, and even women that have taken care of the kids for years, and now that's changing. The kids are moving out and there's like this void. So in a lot of these businesses, such as yoga or any kind of spiritual coaching, there's this need, it's the opposite. There's a need to help, but they're not sure how to really make money at it. And there's not a belief that they really can. And then other businesses like corporate, sometimes they're making a lot of money, but they don't have that deep meaning.
Yeah.
So I really try to meld those two worlds together. And I've had like my client Mara, she stepped into our program, had been making like $1,000 a month. She does have 4 kids and she had a lot going on in life. But she stepped into our program in the first month and made her first, 15,000 in a month. And it was really by recognizing her value of what she could do in coaching others and how she could build. Since then, she's been with us almost a year and she's continued to grow her business even more financially, but in a way where she still has freedom to be with her children and to have time for her husband and time for herself and her dance and fitness and everything that's important to her. So I find it's like melding the two of success and significance that transforms one's life, because you get more confidence in yourself as a woman.
Yeah.
And you start valuing yourself, whether it's what you're selling or even in your relationship, valuing your time, and being that example for your children.
Yeah.
It's so important.
I think the valuing your time and valuing your abilities is really, really important. That's a very big step. If the viewers didn't hear that today, that she went from $1,000 in a month to, being able to make $15,000 in a month. I don't know the percentage of that because I'm not going to do math right now, but that is significant. That's not just a little, I gave you an extra $500 a month. That's life-changing. That is absolutely life-changing.
Again and again.
Yeah.
People triple and quadruple their revenues because it's not coaching, but it's not straight business coaching, although we do some of that, like consulting. It's coaching on your way of being.
Yes.
And the most powerful work we can do as coaches, or what I can do in people's lives, is really transform the way of being and like teach you, for example, Kim, how to manage your mind, because it is the mind that goes crazy. It's called in yoga the chitta vritti, and chitta vritti is like mind chatter. If you think of like the monkey brain, it's all over the place. And those negative beliefs can come in and really stop you or stop any of us from our higher potential self, from making more money, having time for ourselves, valuing ourselves, just finding happiness and gifts in each day, because there's this inner villain saying, you can't do it, you're not worthy of it, you've got to be there for everyone else. And it's really drains the energy. It's a soul-sucking behavior. But changing that voice inside transforms everything.
I think one of the biggest things that kind of hooked me was you had me really, me and the group that we were with, really kind of diagnose, and I won't give away your whole thing in case somebody wants, to join one of your events, but you kind of had us look back and diagnose an exact situation and figure out from beginning to end, okay, where's the truth in this? And let's determine, is this something you can change, or is this, is there truth to this or not? And probably not explaining it the best, but my mind was like, oh my God, this has nothing to do with me. And I'm spending so much time in my mind consuming something I really have no control over.
Yes, we try to do so much control in our lives and try to figure things out. And I have great news. You can't figure it out anyway. So stop trying. You cannot figure everything out.
Yeah.
You have to be in flow. What you can do is the exercise we looked at earlier, which is literally looking at what's working and not what's working, what's not working. So you can evaluate whether or not you're swimming upstream. If you are going against, going a direction that's not meant for you, then things will not work out.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So you need to literally turn around and swim the other way, which is making a pivot. So that's typically when you're not in alignment with your purpose. You're not doing the work that you're meant to do in this world. And a word, again, from Sanskrit is dharma. If you're not in your dharma, it's being in your truth, in your life purpose. And it can shift throughout life. So if you're not in that, you have to change in a way that you are. And then spirit will open up opportunities for you that you can't possibly plan for. It is like magical.
Oh my God, I love it. I mean, and I've been a part of it, so I get the goose feels because I know it's absolutely true. All right. So, Tara, when we started this conversation, you talked about the dream life, and you've created something called the dream methodology, right? Which is a little bit back into the previous story we were talking about. How do you use that to help people?
So I've literally been coaching people for over 15 years now, and I've coached thousands of people around the world. And in doing so, I saw that there was a pattern of the process that I would lead people through. So in that, I created, yes, the DREAM methodology, which is an acronym that I utilize for a 5-step process to guide people to create the changes that they want in their life so they can reach that ideal dream vision, within the next year. So the beginning is actually D, which is determine the vision. You've got to know where you want to go. Otherwise, so many people go to school and follow a path and they end up somewhere that they're thinking, how did I get here? This isn't even really where I want to be. Or they, check the boxes to get the marriage and the kids and all of this, but they didn't really take that time to open up their mind to what's possible if I could do anything, be anything, live anywhere, work in any way. So I don't want to help anyone build a business where they create a lot of money and they end up unhappy. I want to help people look at their dream life and fit their business in to empower the dream life versus fitting your life in like in a couple of vacations in the year around your business. So that's why we start with D, determine the vision. And what you were referring to with your experience in our event is R, remove the blocks. This is probably the most important and powerful step that we do with our clients, which is looking at how the subconscious mind is controlling the show in a way that any business consulting can't rectify. So I can tell people step by step how to build a business, how to monetize their purpose and take it to the next level, how to sell at higher ticket. But if they're still having those subconscious beliefs and limitations, it won't happen. It just will not happen. And the manifestation process is halted. Whether you are interested in manifestation or not, there is a science to the way that the brain works. And when you see images in your mind, they become important to you, these visuals. So that's why determining the vision gets you towards the visuals. But then, because the subconscious brain is responsible for 90% of behaviors, the behaviors that you take will not be in alignment with getting you to that vision because there's still something stopping you. When you say, oh, I'd love to, go to Bali each year like you did, Tara, but I can't because I have kids. Well, the minute you said I can't because I had kids, you just stopped it. And so now there's no universal flow of energy supporting you towards getting to this dream of, let's just say, living in Bali every year. Or it could be, my multiple 6-figure, my 7-figure business. Oh, I'll never get there because of this. Well, you're right. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right because you just said,
I just told yourself I can't do it.
You just told yourself I can't. And now the universe and your own subconscious heard you and said, okay, well, let's not spend our time, attention, energy, resources going that direction because it's not going to happen anyway. So go another direction.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, so you can ask questions about that. Otherwise, I was going to go into E in the dream methodology is really explore your purpose. So I am convinced, after decades of working with people, I'm convinced that purpose is the antidote to depression and anxiety.
That is deep and powerful. Because everybody's looking for that cure, right? Depression and anxiety. And it seems so within yourself, the way that you explain this.
People are taking a pill to feel better, to not look at their life rather than changing their life. And I'm not saying that the pharmaceuticals prescribed are sometimes absolutely necessary because they are at times and they can help you. But I think many of us can agree that they're often overprescribed or, even abused, where it's not the correct scenario to utilize them, to just not feel or to mask your feelings, but rather let yourself feel your feelings, even if they really, really freaking hurt, because it takes getting to that level of pain to saying, I need to make a change. And then you can actually pivot and go a different direction with your life. But people will think, or, that it's harder to make that change. That's so hard to make a change. It'd be easier to take a pill. Let me tell you something. It's harder not to. It's harder not to make those changes, to stay in that place of stuckness, to stay in life as mediocrity. Like, go to the places that you want to go most. Don't marry the guy or woman that's easy because they'll accept you. Go after your dream person. Like, don't wait till you're 80 years old to say, I wish I would have gone after this career. I wish I would have done my own business. I wish I would have, traveled the world. Whatever it is that your heart is yearning for, like, don't wait till you're older and having regrets.
How many people on this earth are actually fulfilling their purpose?
Well, the world needs more people fulfilling their purpose and less people that are just taking on jobs or doing what they think they're supposed to do because it's responsible. Because entrepreneurs are really the people that are changing the world and really making the biggest impact. So when you step into your purpose and you really go into it from a place of service, this is why I love sales. Sales is service. When you go into it from a place of service, you're going into it from a place of a direction of helping other people. And this is how we actually make the world a better place, starting with ourselves. As Gandhi said, be the difference you want to see in the world. You have to start with you.
Absolutely beautifully said. So we've gone through DRE. Where does A fall?
A is taking action from inspiration. So you have to be connected and aligned with your own intuition and the sixth chakra. I actually wrote a book on the chakras. I think it's here.
No, we sure have it sitting out here.
So I really believe in the power of tuning inward and allowing the source energy from within to guide you. That's why I take this spiritual approach to success. And also looking at data and logic and analytics as to what's working in the industry, in the marketplace, how to, package and price in alignment with your value and what the industry can sustain right now. So there is this combination of utilizing the two. So you're taking actions and creating an action plan based on what your heart really wants to do with your days, based on what your intuition is guiding you to do. And this is where a business coach actually comes in really handy. So you have someone letting you know what the logical next steps are to get to the next level.
Beautifully said. So then our final letter is M. And give us a little story on that.
If you take steps of all the first four in the process and you don't do M, you will still not make it. You will fail. And I say that succinctly because M is make the commitment. And there are always going to be challenges in our lives and in our business. There's going to be unexpected things that come up that are obstacles that we don't know how to deal with. But when you are committed and you know why, you'll be unstoppable. And if you're unstoppable, you cannot fail because you don't stop. And for me, I've had those moments in my business as well. When I was, when I became a mother and I had a 1-year-old daughter, I was changing my business from traveling the world and hosting retreats, which was once just a vision and a dream when I created my own dream vision and left corporate. And then I went on to have 10 years of this new dream vision of, traveling and teaching yoga. And then here I was after I had this international, retreat business. Here I was 7 years later, and I'm having a child, becoming a single mother. And I really wanted to provide a different environment for her with incorporating the world travel, but really a stable situation financially and location, geographically. I almost took a corporate position, but I really looked into my heart of hearts and I thought, there has to be another way. And I just don't know how. That's when I hired a coach. So I had someone to guide me along the way. And that's when I looked at why this mattered to me and why I was willing to go out on a limb and make that risk and make that investment. Because I wanted my daughter to know that she can do anything that her heart desires and make a damn good living at it. Because we all deserve to enjoy our days and have a passion to wake up and live each day. We all deserve to be able to travel to our dream destinations and live in our dream homes. And we all deserve to have relationships and work that deeply fulfill us on a heart and soul level. And I knew that the only way I could teach that to my daughter was to live it.
I think that's beautifully said. And you obviously have shown that it's the truth by doing this dream methodology with clients and just events. And however you do that, you could take someone from 1,000 to 15,000. You could take me from the places I was in to where I already am in just a very, very short period of time. How can people reach you if they're feeling and they're aligning with you? Do you have other programs? What do you have out there for everybody to find Tara Nolan?
Yeah, just to connect with me, I do regular free complimentary master classes online. So once or twice a month, you can just go to jointara.live, 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 and just see when the next master class is coming up on purpose, passion, prosperity. So you can look into what is your deep level purpose and monetize that passion to create a prosperous life. You can also check me out at transformationtara.com. We have other large events coming up and offer strategy sessions. And you can be followed on Facebook or Instagram.
Absolutely. And we will have links on this
great.
on the show right below for everybody to see as well. What other programs? You have a pretty cool program that's like a year long. You do basically these smaller events and then some in person. And then you have a big one that is your mastermind, Magical Mastermind.
The Magical Manifestation Mastermind is a year-long program. It's really geared more towards women who are on a path to purpose to build businesses that fulfill their soul calling. I've coined this phrase, soul calling success. It's creating success on your terms in alignment with your dharma, with what you're meant to do in this world, and really do it in a way that makes a difference on the lives of other people as well as on your own life and the people that you love. So we guide women through this process through a transformation track, which is healing mindset, tapping into intuitive powers, all of the personal work and inner work. And then we also do a business track that's part of it, where that is more the sales strategy and structure of how to build the business from start to finish, or if you're already in, whether you have a dream to have a business, you don't know what that business is, or you've been in business for a while, we have a different starting place for you.
Amazing. So I just want to thank you so much for joining us today and giving so much wisdom in such a short period of time. Do you have any last words of wisdom, parting wisdom that you'd like to leave with our audience today?
I do. Love yourself enough to do the things that will get you the long-term outcome that you want. Take the risks, make the investments, and get resourceful, because you deserve that life where you wake up every day with a passion to live the life that you dream of.
Absolutely beautifully said. Thank you again so much, Tara, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
If you have any further information or would like to see Tara live and in person, we are having our next Mind Body Abundance show right here live in Wauwatosa, and you are our keynote speaker.
I'm so excited.
January 20th, Expansive Wauwatosa, and you're offering workshops. So you're gonna give about 45 minutes to an hour talk, and then we have VIP workshops where people are getting to work, in a very small group directly with you. So do you want to talk anything about the upcoming event?
Yeah, I mean,
New Year, New You.
I was just going to say it's the new year, new you. So what a great way to start the year and really get mindful about where you're at, what you're creating. I am going to be leading people through processes where they can let go of subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs that they may not be aware of to help find clarity and really walk away with a clear roadmap to create the life and success that you want in 2024.
Beautifully said. I can't wait. Last time I got to do something live and in person with you, I felt all the emotions. Happy, sad, anxious, tears flew, but it was so worth it and so powerful. So I really hope everybody joins us on January 20th for the New Year, New You Mind Body Abundance show. Thank you, Tara, so much.